Hi there, Sonia from the Urban Homestead Academy. Today I'm going to show you reasons why you shouldn't be throwing out your eggshells. They are so valuable in the garden, and let's look at 4 ways you can easily recycle those precious eggshells. Okay, so what I've got here is some eggshells which have been dried. So they have been sun-baked, and I also popped them under the wood heater. Our wood heater gets really hot. So these are nice and really dry, so I'm just going to spend a moment just breaking these down a little bit further into nice little usable chunks. Okay, so that's nice and a bit of chunky. I'm not going to finely grind them to a powder. I like them to have a little bit of size left in them. Now I have washed my hands to avoid any sort of bacteria, and also too I only use the eggs from our own chickens, so I'm not using store-bought eggshells, and I'm not using eggshells from other people's chickens, so that reduces the chance of any bacteria spreading. And that's Michael in the background there working on the chicken coop, doing a bit of maintenance there and jazzing it up, making it a bit cosier for our chickie girls over the winter, and we'll show you a video on that as well. Alrighty, I'm pretty happy with that, so let's have a look. About that sort of consistency that I work with. So what I'm going to do, so the first way that you can recycle these eggshells is to add them to your chicken food. So here's the girls' layer mix, and that's been soaking, so I give them a little bit of this of a morning, and then the rest of it I'm loading them up with lots of greens from the garden. So they love the greens, and actually they prefer the kitchen scraps and the greens more than they do this food, but this has got a lot of nutrient stuff in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a handful and I'm going to pop that in there with them. And so what this does is giving them a boost of calcium, which helps with their egg laying and supports the development of strong, healthy eggs. And they love eggshells. And the good thing about this is they don't recognise it as an egg, so it's eggshells disguised. Now some people might break those down a little bit more, but I just find that the chickens will peck at those and they will eat away. Okay, so let's go and give that to the girls and see how they like it. Now our chickens are like little dinosaurs. They'll eat absolutely everything, except of course things like onion, garlic, spicy stuff. I don't give them things high in fat, so I do try to give them a healthy diet. So here they are. Hello, good morning girls. Good morning girls. Today we're gonna give you your feed. See what you think. I'm just going to throw this over the fence because it's a little bit muddy to get in there at the moment. We had a bit of flooding. You probably can see the wet over the back there. Okay, there you go. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Is that nice? Good girls. They've been fossicking this morning, so they're probably not overly hungry. Having a good go at that. There you go. I can see some eggshells being picked up there. So we've started off with 7 chickens. I think I'd like to probably get up to about 15. That means I've got more eggs to give away, which will be good. Certainly with the cost of living, things are getting very expensive. So our plan is to grow more food if we can and be able to donate some. We've got our local neighbourhood centres here in Tasmania, and they do a wonderful job helping out people who are struggling to, you know, eat healthy, wholesome foods. So it's great to be able to donate organic foods and free range eggs. Do our bit for our community. Okay, we'll leave them to eat. Another way that you can reuse your eggshells is to turn them into little seedling containers. So if you don't have the other seedling type containers to raise your seedlings in, you can halve your shells, fill them with your good seedling mix soil. This soil is a bit thicker than what I'd normally use. I would normally sieve this for seedlings, make it easier for them to pop up and grow, but just as for example purposes, I've put this in here. I found this process a little bit fiddly, so personally I wouldn't use this process, only because I've got big fingers and it was all a little bit fiddly for me. But basically you can have your seedlings come up in this, and then when it's time to plant your seedlings out of the ground, you just pop them in shell and all, so you're not disturbing the roots. So the thing is, if you are going to grow them in eggshells, have a little hole in the bottom of your eggshell so that the water can drain, and then when you're ready to plant, basically you just be planting the whole lot, plant and eggshell ready to come up. But like I said, I actually found that a little bit fiddly. The other thing that I've seen people do is actually just recycling the egg cartons, so cutting those off and just growing their seedlings in the actual, direct in the cardboard. But that's the second way that you can recycle your eggshells. The third way is to put your eggshells into compost. Really good to add to the compost and adding nutrients to that mix. Now, we haven't set up our compost bays yet. That's a project that we're going to be doing over winter, but I'll certainly be adding some eggshells to it then. So the fourth way is a pest repellent to keep the snugs and the sails off your leafy greens. So you can see here, this one here, I've actually been putting eggshells down quite regularly. So this is all organic. And look, there are a couple of little holes here and there, but look, not many. And look at that, they're actually looking pretty good. You can see there's some of the old eggshell pieces that I put down. So I do put them down quite thick. I haven't done these for a while, but the snails and the slugs, they don't like it. They won't walk over that. So that looks pretty good for organic growing of food there. But then, over the next row, we can see that we've actually planted out some kale seedlings very recently, and I haven't freshly put down the eggshells here, so you can have a look and see, oh, okay, we've got something certainly getting in and getting into those leaves there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eggshell container and I'm going to get my handfuls, and I'll just sprinkle it in and around here. It doesn't hurt the plants, and it helps protect them. And also these eggshells are really good for the soil, so they give the soil a good calcium boost. And I'm pretty generous with it because I want to stop all these lovely leaves being eaten, and it's a really nice organic way to do it. Now, I've seen people put their eggshells down which are chunkier than this, but I find this is just good. They won't want to slide over this on a soft underbody. There we go, and I might just put some on this silver beet. This is a little bit of an extra. Now, we're getting a lot of eggs at the moment because the chickens are on the lay. So we're getting about 49 eggs a week on average. So it's a lot of eggs. So we do give them away to family and friends. But we do like to use quite a bit ourselves. A lot of cooking. Our chickens will start going off the lay soon, so we're heading into early winter now. So the nights are starting to get colder, and we do get quite a few frosts in the winter here where we are in southern Tasmania, which is why Michael's ramping up the chicken pen and making that very nice and cosy for them. Okay, so that's 4 ways to recycle those precious eggshells in your garden. Hope you found that useful. And if you like our videos, please like and subscribe, and we'll keep making more of them. In the meantime, happy gardening and bye for now.